Coming up next.
If you love animals, that's great, but you also need to love people. If you don't love people, this really is a tough profession because the animals don't bring themselves in. They come attached to a person. So if you're saying, nope, I'm doing this because I don't like people, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be hard.
The Job Talk podcast shares stories from people who are passionate and love what they do in their careers. Through conversation, we explore their careers, past work experiences, and the education that got them to where they are now. We are putting together a Career Crisis Ultimate interview series. We are asking experts to give their best advice and guidance around work anxiety, career pressures, career goal setting, and ultimately, career transformation. To learn more about this special interview series and get notified when it's available, please visit our webpage at thejobtalk.com/help. This is the shortened version from our in-depth conversation. Please visit thejobtalk.com to find the full episode.
Today's guest is Dr. Heather Gunn McQuillan. Here's our Job Talk with the Veterinarian. What are some misconceptions about vets?
Well, there's probably lots. One is that you only work with animals. So like me, right now, I mostly work with people. And so there are veterinarians doing all sorts of different jobs in the world. When you graduate from veterinary medicine, this is one of the most exciting things. You can have a career in all sorts of areas. If you don't want to do general practice, if you don't want to do specialty practice, you can work for government. You can work for industry like the pharmaceutical industry or the pet food industry. You can work in research. You can work in teaching. You can work heck, you can even be an astronaut. So there's an astronaut who is a veterinarian. So I used to say the sky's the limit, but the sky's not even the limit anymore. Like you can do whatever you want to do. There's so many opportunities with this degree. Yeah. And so that's what I always coach my students in. If you're not happy in one facet of this profession, go find another facet. You'll find something that makes you happy. So that's one of the big misconceptions.
Heather, would there be any reasons why you wouldn't go into veterinarian medicine?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like many professions, every profession has its challenges. So we've talked a lot about the rewards and the benefits, but there are challenges in this profession. And some of those challenges are the cost of doing all the education. And so that's something you have to really look at. Veterinarians graduate with quite a bit of debt. And so it may or may not be something that's accessible to everybody. And that's definitely a challenge. Another big issue is mental health and mental well-being. We talked a little bit about some of the challenges in dealing with tough conversations, with euthanasia. But what we didn't talk about was some of the workload and burnout that can happen, the compassion fatigue that can occur. And this can have some fairly detrimental effects on veterinary wellness or well-being, especially if you don't have the toolkit and the strategies for how to manage those. And in those toolkits are things like knowing when you need professional help and support. So there's definitely an issue with veterinary well-being and veterinary mental health. That's a factor. So It isn't for everyone. Yeah. And that's okay.
I don't think I asked you, start to finish, what is the time commitment from when you're first starting to when you receive your degree?
Yeah. So if you do the minimum education training, you would need 6 years of university education. So you're going to have a 2-year undergrad and then a 4-year DVM. But many people have a 4-year undergrad and then a 4-year DVM. And if you want to specialize, I think it's really important that we clarify that that's a lot more school. So people who specialize tend to do a rotating internship, then a specialty internship, and then a 4-year specialty residency. So they're doing 6 years on top of the 6 or the 8. So it's a lot.
Why would you recommend somebody become a veterinarian?
The opportunities are endless. So there are lots and lots of opportunities. If you love animals, that's great. But you also need to love people. If you don't love people, this really is a tough profession because the animals don't bring themselves in. They come attached to a person. So if you're saying, nope, I'm doing this because I don't like people, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be hard. So I recommend it to people who enjoy working with people, who enjoy problem solving, who love animals, and who want to make a difference.
Thank you for tuning in to the Job Talk podcast. For more information, please visit us at thejobtalk.com. Our podcast music was created by our friend Mike Malone in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.